Welcome to the podcast Catch It, A New Perception. My name is Ketuk. As we start the second episode of the new season, I think about some of the things, how I've been gifted them, who I've been gifted them from. And different friends and family through the years have gifted me memories, they've gifted me time, they have gifted me many things. Sometimes terminology. Sometimes a reminder of who I am. And I think that for me, a big part of this is this journey that I'm on, I get to experience. I have the privilege of experiencing this lifetime. And I say that because I know, as I will probably talk a little bit more about cancer in this episode than I did the last one, I don't want it to be the entire focal point of this episode. Having had surgery a few days ago, and as of the release of this episode, and learning that I can be grateful for what it is that I have, who I am, and the journey that I have. And there are certain subjects and certain ideas that I stay away from with this podcast. Some of you may be aware of it. Some of you may not be conscious of it. That's okay. For me, I sometimes have a hard time speaking of taking my long journey. And my perception of taking that long journey is probably a lot different than other people's. The terminology I use. Now, the idea of it may be a lot the same as other people. I believe that I will be in this lifetime to learn what I need to learn and possibly allow other people to learn something through my experience in this lifetime. And when I'm done, then I get to move on and teach from the other side or allow people to learn from my long journey that I get to take. And it's interesting because I realize that being grateful in this lifetime is one of the greatest gifts that I've been given. And I say that because it's a perception of being grateful that I'm holding on to. The idea that gratitude turns what I have into enough. When I am grateful, everything I have, everyone that's in my life, all of my experiences are enough. I don't need to have your experience. I don't need to travel your journey. I don't need to look outside of myself. I need to look inside of myself and be grateful for everything I have. Be grateful for everything I don't have. And I say that because I have much to learn, and that's what I need to focus on. Through understanding that great gratitude turns what I have into enough. It shifts my focus from what is missing to what truly matters. Now, when I think about that it actually shifts my focus, it also shifts the way that I think and therefore will dictate how I feel. As soon as I can shift my focus. So when I focus on what I am grateful for in this lifetime, I remember prior to having surgery, having a conversation with people, telling them I'm really grateful that I'm aware I have it, that I'm aware that I have cancer. And most people would be like, oh yeah, it's better than not knowing. I was living with self-deception, not knowing I had a tumor. That could end my lifetime in human form, not knowing. So I'm very grateful that I was gifted the idea of knowing about it. And then take it a step further and say I'm grateful for the cancer. Because I have something to learn from this. It's kind of like when I was younger, I got caught up in what people might refer to as addictions in my life. Whether that was with a food addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, all kinds of different things in my lifetime. And I have been separated from drugs and alcohol for the majority of my life up to this point. I believe it had been approximately 14 years ago I had been clean from drugs and alcohol for half my life. So I have a good start on this idea. Here's the thing, is that I need to be grateful for the fact that I became a drug addict. I need to be grateful for the fact that I became an alcoholic. I need to be grateful for the fact that I was gifted cancer. I don't need the cancer anymore, just like I don't need to be an active alcoholic in my cups. I don't need to be an active drug addict. Those things aren't needed in my life. I need to learn what I can learn and then have them removed from my life. Removed from active addiction into getting to know my higher self. Remove the cancer from my body so that I have a chance to be able to live without this tumor. Learn what I can learn and be grateful that it's a learning process. To understand it's a learning process. I could get really caught up in the idea that either I'm going to be grateful for or get caught up in the idea that have some type of disdain for this. I mentioned a couple episodes ago, I don't want to fight this. I want to be able to be grateful for what's in my life and what I've been gifted and how I can learn from it. Whether it's through this podcast, whether it's by talking to other people, whether it's something that's actually going on inside of me, I need to be able to be grateful for what I have and what I don't have. There's many things that I don't have in this lifetime. And I should be grateful for that. I need to be able to change the focus into gratitude. When I have an idea of what gratitude is in my life, I see the world different. I can either be grateful for it or I can take it for granted. I'm grateful that I have my mind intact as well as I do, my emotions intact as well as I do. I'm grateful that I can see, that I can hear as well as I do, that I'm able to still walk. I need to be grateful for these things. And if not, I'm taking them for granted. And that is my perception of the way I see it right now, is either I can be in a place of gratitude in every moment, no matter how difficult the moment may be. There's something to be thankful for. And I remember last episode talking about thankfulness and gratitude are not necessarily synonymous, and I think they're very close at times. The idea that if I show that I'm thankful for something, it's a way of showing gratitude in my life. And I say this because I think that it's important for me to be grateful for what I have, who I am, the way that I've been able to change. I'm grateful that I want to continue to change. I'm grateful for so many things in my life, I couldn't list them all. I could do an episode maybe every week on different types of gratitude that I have. For friendships, for people who remind me of memories that we once shared, times we shared. I'm grateful that I'm conscious that I want to sometimes create memories with my children, now my grandchildren, with my wife, with friends. Create memories for both of us moving forward. And one of the things I'm grateful for, I've had the opportunity, I haven't been married very long. My wife and I are just coming up on 23 years of marriage. We met each other 30 years ago, I believe, this month. And so on our anniversary, I learned something very early on, and I'm sure I learned this from someone else. Because I've had some really good ideas. I just don't know that I've followed through and shown them to other people. A lot of really good ideas I think I was gifted from other people. And one of them was very early on, and I believe I was able to do this from our first anniversary and each anniversary since, is we go to a place to eat we've not been before. Often maybe a high-end place, and really appreciate what it is that we're doing. And we've created memories through, now I have been separated from drugs and alcohol longer than what I've known my wife. I believe about 5 years before I met her, I was separated from drugs and alcohol for the last time. And so the memories that we create might be at a coffee shop, they might be out to dinner, and our anniversary is always at a place we've not been to before, and sometimes a very high-end place. I'm really grateful for understanding how to create memories with people, or the fact that memories are important to people, the impact that they've had on my life, the impact that at times people have told me, actually more than once, people have told me I've impacted their life. I am so grateful to hear that from people. It's wonderful. Speaking about the gratitude of our anniversary, we've been able to be in different parts of the world at times to celebrate our anniversary. We've been in some fine dining establishments. And for me, it's really cool to be able to create that memory and be able to walk into a place today with my long hair, as people would consider my hair being long. I appreciate my hair. I like having it the length that it is, and I have for a number of decades. And there was a time where, with the length of my hair, I would not have been able to walk into fine dining establishments. And I know that people today think, well, that's really bizarre. And yes, it's really bizarre. I've eaten at the Ritz in London. I've eaten at Cabo Azul in the Cabo region of Mexico. I've eaten at 1919 in Puerto Rico. It was Lady Vanderbilt's house at one time. I've eaten at some very fine establishments, and I'm grateful. Not that I've been able to afford the check, that's nice too. I'm grateful that I've created memories of these places. Obviously, there's dozens of others because that's what we like to do, to create a memory for our anniversary. So for me, this idea of gratitude runs deep. Yes, I could talk about the gratitude that I have with the things that I've been gifted by having cancer and the things I've been gifted by being able to have the cancer removed. And I could talk about the gratitude that I have about the way that I've changed my perception in this lifetime. And I could talk about the gratitude that I have for the people around me. And I could talk about the gratitude of many different things and talk an entire episode about each one of these. I get it. I truly am grateful that my perception continues to change, that I'm able to continue to see things different. And gratitude many times has turned what I have into being enough. Gratitude doesn't change circumstance. It changes me outright. The circumstances will not change. When I developed this cancerous tumor, that wasn't going to change until I did something to be able to change it. I get that. My gratitude of being able to have it and not want to hate it, not want to fight it, and not want to. I get it. Other people use different terminology. And I may learn to use some of that terminology. Today, I am grateful for what it is that I have. I am grateful today for the things I do not have. And I am grateful that today I am enough for me. And it is one of the most important relationships in my life, is my relationship with me. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Dok Shao, okay?